Are the Bengals busted? We'll go right into that transition. Are the Bengals busted? That's the question, because guess what? That guy left. He hasn't played it down. That guy right there hasn't signed. And the guy over there that's like this is probably getting more pissed by the day because their defense is really bad. And yes, last year he had to outscore everybody. And they ended up coming short basically a game away from the playoffs. So are they busted?
I think they are. As much as I love Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, we saw last year that those guys alone can't do it. They can win a few games in the regular season, but they can't win enough to drive you, consistently to the playoffs, or let alone make a playoff run or Super Bowl run. And I'll tell you, I've been saying this for a long time, man. The Bengals are the cheapest franchise in the NFL. And I think, technically speaking, and you guys can fact check me on this, owner to owner, I do think he is it sounds crazy, he's a billionaire, but I think he is the brokest owner of the owners, so in that world, he's at the bottom, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. So I don't know if that plays a role into it, but from everybody, we have so many examples, I just feel like, of just the Bengals being cheap. I mean, again, even with a guy like Jamar Chase, who has done everything since he's been on that team, they were playing around with his contract. Now, luckily for them, he said, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and just play and become a Triple Crown winner anyway. And they ended up paying him, but they're slow to pay even their best of the best guys. So am I surprised that they're going through this right now with Shemar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson? I'm actually not. And I just think that it's unfortunate because you're wasting the prime of a top 2, top 3 caliber quarterback in the NFL. And Joe Burrow, this guy's proven, he's shown you he's capable of getting you to the big game. And with a little bit of help, he could win it. He's the one guy who does not back down, does not get scared when he goes against those Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why I bring them up is because every single year they're in the AFC Championship game, at least every single year. So it's going to take somebody who's not afraid to go against them to be able to defeat them and beat them. And you have the quarterback to do that, but you don't have the full team to do that. And that's a shame that you don't see that and that you're wasting this guy's prime. So, yes, sir, I'm going to say the Bengals are busted.
Wait. Oh, no way.
Oh, no. What happened?
Man, shout out to Dr. Mendoza's in the chat. Verbum Day legend himself, him and his whole family. Verbum Day had a great hooper. Well, a lot of great hoopers. But a legend, UCLA legend and Verbum Day legend, David Greenwood, passed away. So if you guys know who that is, if any of you youngsters in here, go Google who that is. David Greenwood, rest in peace. Watts legend. And UCLA legend, Verbum Day legend, David Greenwood. I'm sure Michael Cooper will know who that is. So, unfortunate. So, Smitty, let me be clear though. I think it gets overblown as far as the Bengals being cheap, because I'm still on the side of Willie Anderson, who said, hold on, we got a lot of people that made generational wealth changing money in this franchise as well. And at the end of the day, Smitty, the salary cap is what? $279 million for who? Every team. So let's be clear here. Let's not act like they're $100 million short just to save money. Like they're not. They're not. At the end of the day, the salary cap's a salary cap, and that owner has that amount of money, just like all the other owners. Like they can get to the cap. I don't know I think we blow this whole cheap thing out of proportion. Badly managed, badly ran organization. Go ahead. You can say whatever you want to say for the history and the people we know, as far as the TJs and the Chads and all these different people that's played there, and says, hey, they're a badly ran organization. Fine. But I don't know if the cheap thing really plays into it when they're still having to use the same allotted amount of money.
But so even I heard their facilities have always been
that's what I'm saying. Badly ran organization.
Little stuff like that.
Yeah. You can say that too. Badly ran organization, shit show, shit franchise, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, they have been to a Super Bowl over certain teams that have gorgeous facilities and do everybody right. like the Ravens, right? In the last few years. So, like, let's just be honest. This is a team that still went to a Super Bowl more recently than how many other franchises that we don't talk about. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers that everybody's jabbing at Mike Tomlin about? Guess what? Bengals have been to a Super Bowl more recently.
This man right here on your screen, homie. That's why.
I'm just saying, Smitty. I think we over exaggerate the fact that it's the cheap part and more of it's a fucking shit show organization. Like I think two things can be absolutely polar opposite. I don't know if it's not salary cap, because the salary cap, Smitty, has gone up every year. Like, I think we got to realize since 2020, okay, in 2020, you know what the salary cap was? It's unbelievable, Smitty. Like, I don't think people realize 25 years ago, the salary cap was $63 million in the NFL.
What?
25 years ago in 2000.
Dang.
My would have been as I was finishing up college, would have been
crazy.
$63 million. Okay, 15 years forward, and you go to 2015, 15 years, it doubled. It went to 143 million.
More than
15 years. Okay, so then 15 years till now, 10 years later, it's now $280 million. So it's continuing to climb, but in that 25-year span, we're sitting up here arguing that the product's gotten worse. So, I mean, I'm just saying, dog, I'm not going to really sit up here and say that this team is being cheap. I just think they're badly managed for whatever reason. Whatever they do there, and like you said, shithole facilities and shithole management and all that shit. But at the end of the day, they got $279 million like everybody else. And they
smell like shit. It tastes like shit.
They spend it. They still spend it.
Price shit.
Anthony Easton, I think you're the only one with audio problems because I haven't heard it from anybody else. So maybe member up and you can hear us. So I don't know, Smitty. That's just my take. But listen, I think they all still use the salary cap. They still use all the allotted money. It's not like, you know, I can see if this motherfucker was only spending 179 of $279 million pocketing $100 million. And I can now we got a conversation. That's not the case. Like let's be honest. He's clearing, like look who he paid on offense. So
he had no choice because Burrow got that power.
Well, I'm just saying. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm saying he paid Carson Palmer, Smitty. He's paid fucking a lot of big-time running backs that we've talked about. He's paid a big-time O-lineman. He's paid great defensive players. I mean, it's not the first time that he's paid guys either.
I know, but it's always like, I don't know. Like,
I get it. I'm just
always like a struggle.
Listen,
it's
they're badly ran
like
organization. I'm going to tell you, they're a badly ran organization.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it at that. But the money thing, I think it overblows the bad ran organization, if that makes sense. Like, they're still using the same money. They're still using the same money. That's all I'm saying.
I definitely hear you, man.